My name is Kalle Slaap, watchmaker in the Netherlands, and a very nice watch. It's a Maurice LaCroix alarm watch with day and date. Well, that is something different than I think. But tonight I know what to expect. And it's not making me very happy, but if I show you, first it might be a shadow or a short optical illusion, isn't it? Probably is. We see that in a moment. It is faux guilloche, so that is printed in instead of cut out. The extra hand is an alarm function. If I rotate, maybe if I wind it first, if I rotate that, maybe you can hear it. A mechanical alarm. I'm wondering what... That's a small scratch. Didn't see it before. The dial is beautiful, especially the dimensions. I think it's beautiful. But as always, no free lunch. Nothing is simple because I said, oh, look at that, the ring in between looks like a mother of pearl. Or am I mistaken? The yellow bits, I'm not too sure. But there's always a but. As I say, I don't do work up front, so usually I don't know what to expect. But now I do. Maybe you can see what I mean. It is quite obvious that the watch has had a huge bump. This is the shock system, the chaton holder even. There are the timing pins, and there is the fine tuning, and that is wedged in between the rotor. And do you see that here? Oh no, that's just the riveting of the rotor itself. Let's have a closer look. Well, we are not the first to enter with this movement. Just a visual. You really have to do your best to butcher screws like that. Is that some rust or moisture? What do you think? So we're going to do a full revision, and as you can see, especially with the specs there on the escape wheel, there is some filings, some, well, old oil it is, BFX. There's a good chance that is very old oil or lubrication. And maybe that bit over there was wedged between the rotor and left some marks, but we'll do our best. And this is just, you see exactly the size of screwdriver the previous watchmaker used. Do you see that? Usually you use the full width of the screw head, and now he or she used one way smaller than that, and then they just how to open the watch case. Oh, click. What does it say here? Steel gold, 18 karat. You don't see that too often. Interesting. Steel and gold bezel. Sapphire crystal. I found it, well, you see it as well. These markings are lasered, and it's so extremely superficial that if they would, how do you call it, mill it in, now because the lasering is so superficial, you cannot polish it. If it was engraved, it would be so much deeper, and then all the letters will survive, even get nicer during polishing. And now we have to decide with the owner what is more important, the letters, the really superficial letters, or does he want a beautiful polish but then we lose the letters? Well, this is an opener and with a small jolt, so the case back will open without leaving marks or scratches or stuff like that. First things first, I'm going to remove the rotor and then gently lift it out. Carbon tip tweezers, obviously not to leave any marks. And then it is quite a complicated watch. 2 barrels and an alarm function. It's an AS movement. So that's the first we have to pick out. Then the chaton shock system is still in place. Is the pivot of the balance wheel. It seems empty. There we see the pivot of the balance wheel, so that one is okay. Luckily. Strange to see the balance spring like this. Very unusual. I'm going to try to. Is it possible? I would like to take out the balance wheel first, especially with this ring, these 2 rings kept in place by this part, but that completely came off. So first take out the balance wheel, because the timing pins aren't connected anymore and the stud to this balance cock, it comes out in pieces. Because there are 2 main barrels, I think I'm going to release the power of the mainspring via the unconventional way of removing the pallet fork and let it release the power by itself. So the 2 screws for the, and now try to do it. I'm going to retain the escape wheel with this oiler. Try to release the bridge for the pallet fork. Remove the pallet fork itself. And then, there we go. And then you can see the lacking of the camera. It looked warped. Automatic winding module. There we are. Again, carbon tip tweezers. Ugh. Wasn't really expecting. They did a Panerai on this movement. The Panerai trick. Well, it's not really fair, not just Panerai does this. But do you see, here is perlage on the visible parts of the movement. And for the parts that are not visible, there's no finishing whatsoever. Oh well. Cheers.